I think our energy is today in this time and place is best spent uplifting these true spaces, these true narratives, exploring the fullness of the spectrum of Blackness in America. Because I still don't see it, we still don't see it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, quick follow up on that. As you were speaking, it reminded me of how people responded to the Black exploitation movement. Some demographics within Black culture felt like that was deplorable. Like, oh, we're not all pimps, drug users, things of that nature. But as you mentioned, much of our media is a reflection of what's happening outside of our spaces, and that's one of the things I truly do appreciate about reality television, specifically that we get to see ourselves and hear ourselves in ways that's not or hasn't been deemed appropriate for television, but it is like real. I'm curious, do you think the portrayal of Blackness in reality TV, do you think it has the potential to, like, I don't know, shape attitudes around Black people? Like, can more positive depictions of Blackness lead to, I don't know, like less racism or something like that?
Hmm. It's an interesting idea because racism is not a Black problem; it's a white problem, right?
Hmm.
We're talking about institutionalized prejudices, uh, historic institutionalized prejudices, right? You take someone like a Beyonce, and it's like, why is she not getting flowers for certain reasons? And it's like, oh, because in a certain way, we know that there were people who could have been Beyonce died in cotton fields. So this country can't be the space that determines who or what we are. It can't be the litmus test on our value.
Whew, thank you so much for that. I just want to lift up this historical tidbit that we found while doing our research in preparation for our talk with you today, Corinne, because we were very curious about one of the earliest reality TV experiences to center Blackness. Also thinking about this notion that, if only we had more positive Black images, then maybe we'll be treated differently. Well, there's actually a real long history to this. Apparently, like the first Black documentary it's credited to Booker T. Washington, actually. Like in the early 1900s, as early as 1909, he and also the founders of the Hampton Institute, they started something called uplift cinema. So they made these films documenting the day in the life of a student, a good model student, really just emphasizing like manual labor and self-help, as a way to kind of signify to white Northern donors, like, hey, we're worthy of support. We're worthy of inclusion into American society. That was in 1909. I don't think that saturating the airwaves with more positive images or anything like that, I don't think that would lead to like any real material outcomes for us. Because here it is, in the early 1900s, they're making these films showing us like, hey, Black people are good workers, good students, and all this type of stuff. Well, they still were doing that in the midst of Jim Crow. It didn't matter whatsoever. So yeah, any thoughts on just uplift cinema? Do you think we need more of that today?
Well, I love that you have that, but again, it wasn't authentic. It wasn't to
Mhm.
share a story so much as it was to cater to a gaze, to say,
Mhm.
look at us, don't be scared of us, or you can trust us. And that's not the lens. And I'm not interested in things that are for that lens. You know what I mean? Again, we needed that. You kind of needed to see that and try that.
Mhm.
Um, but you have like Birth of a Nation, instrumental film, country changing film, right? And
Mhm.
also people thought of that as documentary. We know the power of images. We know that those things matter, especially to certain people. And so for me, I want to see the fullness of representation. If more kind of sillier representations are out there, or hyperbolic things that are not real to people are out there, that's not ideal, of course. But we have to do things for us. The kids on TikTok, they're making these incredible dances. They're doing all these creative things, and they get taken by other spaces, and so like we have to just be strong enough in our love for ourselves and our love for each other to know, like, whatever this larger lens is, it can't really reflect the trueness of us. Like, I don't see it being possible right now.